Piper Stone, and welcome to Books for Booksellers, the show which I run. I'd like to introduce you to my guest, Tucker Stone.
Hi, I'm Tucker Stone, and I'm from Consortium Book Sales and Distribution. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm here today to say hello to Children's Institute Booksellers, and, hey, it's been quite a year since the last time we had one of these shows. But we're back, and we've got a bunch more wonderful children's books that we're really excited about from a huge variety of publishers. We're going to start it off with this awesome, this is just a little galley and everything, of the upcoming Hansel and Greta coming from Haymarket's Fairy Tales line. It's going to be coming out as a hardcover this November. You can reach out now if you want to get one of these little guys to check it out, though. It's an awesome feminist retelling of the classic Hansel and Gretel story, but it's called Hansel and Greta. What did you think, Piper?
Well, Hansel and Greta is a really interesting book full of a really great story with nice witches, evil ogres, and walking and talking trees. I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did.
And now, we're going to hear about one of our favorite new books, The Spectacular Suit, published by Scribe. It's written by Kat Patrick, drawn by Haley Wells, and actually we're going to throw it out to one of your friends and one of our friends, Emily, from Abraham Associates. Hey, Emily, thanks for coming by the show to tell us about The Spectacular Suit.
Thank you.
Hi, Piper and Tucker. Thanks so much for having me on the show today. Emily here from out in the field. Today, I want to talk about one of my favorite picture books coming out this fall from Scribble Kids Books. It's called The Spectacular Suit by Kat Patrick and Haley Wells. It's a joyful story about freedom of expression. Frankie, our main character here, she's super excited about her upcoming birthday party. She's invited everyone from her class, but she just can't figure out what to wear. None of her dresses feel right, and she starts to get kind of anxious because she's not feeling real confident. What she would love to wear is a suit, but she's never had one before, and she's always been a little bit afraid to ask. So she goes to bed the night before her party, feeling kind of upset and almost wishing there wasn't going to be a party at all. Little does she know, her mom has found Frankie's drawing of her dream suit and stays up all night turning it into a reality. So Frankie wakes up surprised and thrilled the next morning, and her family helps her get ready for the party in her brand new spectacular suit. She dazzles all of her friends and ends up discovering a new sense of confidence she's never felt before. It's a really empowering and well-paced story, and I absolutely adore the vibrant color palette. So that's The Spectacular Suit, and I hope you like it as much as I do. I'll send it back to you two in the studio.
Thanks so much, Emily, for being on my show and telling us about the wonderful Spectacular Suit.
And if you're attending Children's Institute right now, will you make sure you get a chance to go and see Kat Patrick, who's actually virtually appearing at the show, and you'll have a chance to take home your own copy or get sent to your home your own copy of The Spectacular Suit. And our next book is going to be Benji's Doll from our friends at Nube Ocho.
Hi Piper, thanks for having me today. My name is Sandra Law and I'm with Abraham Associates. Today I'm going to be talking about Benji's Doll from Nube Ocho, and the author is Alicia Acosta. Her previous title, I Love My Colorful Nails, is a favorite in my household and was a favorite for many booksellers and bookstores. In Benji's Doll, Benji's a little boy who loves his friend's doll so much. He loves to play with it, he loves to take care of it, and one day his parents surprise him with a beautiful box with his own very doll inside. He's so excited for this doll that he runs to the park to show his friend. When he's there, another little boy sees his doll, takes it from him, and makes fun of him and accidentally breaks it. He instantly regrets this and feels terrible. Come to find out, he didn't really have the skills to play with them like that. So a couple days later, he comes back with a gift for Benji's doll. This is a wonderful book that says toys are toys. There doesn't need to be girl toys. There doesn't need to be boy toys. It's the same thing with books. They should be for everybody. Another great thing about Nube Ocho is all of their titles are available in Spanish as well. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks again for having me, Piper. Bye.
Thanks, Sandra.
And now we're going to check in with a graphic novel anthology from the people at Iron Circus Comics. Now, instead of us talking about this, we thought we'd hear from one of the editors and cartoonist, Sloan Lung. Mahalo, Sloan.
Mahalo.
Hey, mahalo Piper and Tucker, and aloha book lovers and comic lovers. I was super thrilled to bring this collection together. The Night Marchers is really important to me because a lot of the cool folklore and fairy tales from the peoples of the Pacific Ocean are relatively unknown, not just in comics, but in books and TV and movies. I know we got Moana, but we have a lot more going on than just that. So with this collection, you'll get a taste of stories from the Philippines, Fiji, Hawaii, some of which are fun and adventurous, and others which are a little bit creepy. And yeah, some of it is set in historical times, others are set in contemporary times or the far future, almost giving it like a sci-fi twist, which is really cool. So you'll get to read about the titular night marchers of Hawaii. You'll get to read about the legend of the coconut tree, dancing princesses, creepy monsters, cute turtles, volcano goddesses that go on a sledding competition, which is a real thing. It's called Holua sledding. Look it up. It's a wooden sled on going down basically a rocky course. Very dangerous, very fun. I got to adapt the story of Kapo'i and the Owl with my friend Kate Ashwin and Meredith McLaren. I also illustrated a little one-page thing at the end. This is a depiction of the hula mano, which is the shark dance, which is a hula song, basically talking about the god of love, who is a shark. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy this collection, and I hope it expands your imagination and entertains you. And yeah, now back to you two in the studio.
Well, it sounds like there's definitely some scary stuff in there, but I think that scary stuff is kind of right up your alley, isn't it, Piper?
It must be,
Yeah,
yes.
I think so. But it's not just scary stuff that's out there. There's also picture books of beauty and joy. In fact, why don't we turn to our friends in Scotland, Florist Books, for their new book, Home of the Wild. Did you read this one, Piper?
Oh yes, it was such a sweet story of where a little boy takes in a deer and makes the deer grow up to be strong. But then, when the little boy goes rescuing his deer in a rainy storm, he gets lost in the forest, and the deer brings him back to his worried mother. This is a wonderful, heartfelt story that I hope you enjoy.
A few years ago, Piper and I had a chance to meet the artist and writer Arthur Geisart at his home studio in Elkader, Iowa during the book release for his book Pumpkin Island. You can see images on the screen of us hanging out with him and hanging out with his publisher and signing a giant check. He's got a new one out this time, and it's called How the Big Bad Wolf Got His Comeuppance. And we're very excited about this, and we're already kind of thinking about maybe it's time to make another one of those 4-hour drives to Elkader, Iowa to check in on Arthur and his amazing studio. What did you think of this one, Piper?
I really liked this hilarious, funny story of how the wolf, little does he know, the pigs have been so smart engineering things to happen, and the wolf just getting what he deserved. This is a really great story. I hope you enjoy it.
Now we're going to take one more trip outside the studio, all the way to Melbourne, Australia, to hear from Burbay Books, one of our newest publishers here at Consortium. And they're going to be talking about their book from Toby Riddle, Nobody Owns the Moon. Take it away, Nancy.
Hi Piper and Tucker, thanks for having me on your show. I'm here to tell you about Nobody Owns the Moon by Toby Riddle. Now Toby is a master Australian storyteller. Sean Tan calls this book a standout classic for all ages, a masterly tale of friendship and dignity. This is the story of Clive the fox. Well, I'm going to call him Clive because his real name can only be pronounced by foxes. And Clive's friend Humphrey. Now Humphrey's a donkey. Clive is doing pretty well in the city, but Humphrey the donkey is having a rough time. He doesn't have a fixed address, so he's homeless. But this isn't a story about what you don't have. It's a story about what you do have. And what they do have is an incredible friendship, and they share everything under the moon. Together they enjoy all the city has to offer. Now we've sold this book into 5 different countries and optioned film and TV rights. And Toby Riddle even has Haruki Murakami as a fan. He discovered Toby's writing when he was here in Australia and personally translated one of his titles. This is an unforgettable story of empathy and friendship, and I think you're going to fall in love with Toby's work. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much for being on my show, Nancy. Now let's talk about one of my favorite books of all time.
That's right. It's an activity book follow-up to Fabled Films' Pippa Park Changes the Game, which was an awesome retelling of Great Expectations set amongst the Korean-American community, set amongst the basketball community, set amongst the high school community. Or is it middle school? I don't know. Why don't I turn to you? You're the one who read it.
I read Pippa Park Changes Her Game, and it was a wonderful story. I'm really excited to fill this out, and I hope if you do buy this and fill it out, I hope you are excited too. It's got some wonderful activities in it that I hope you enjoy just as much I think I'm going to.
Well, thanks so much, Piper. That's all the books I came here to talk about today. I want to thank all our friends. Emily and Sandra from Abraham Associates, cartoonist and editor Sloan Lung, and Nancy Ponescu from Burbay Books. Thanks. Well, you know what? If you are interested in any of these books, you should be able to track down basically every single one of them by clicking through to the galley box, making a request for a physical copy, or just emailing me and say, hey Tucker, those books that you had in the studio, can I get a copy of one of those? And as long as Piper hasn't stolen it already, or kept it, I'll send it your way. So thanks so much for having me on the show. It's been a tough year, but I really looked forward to doing these episodes with you.
I'm glad. Now, I have something else to say.
Piper, we already talked about all the books that I came here to talk about. What else do you want to bring up?
This book, which comes out in 2022.
Piper, that doesn't come out until next year.
It's a really great book that I really love, so I hope you all enjoy it next year.
That's Albatross Publishing. Don't tell them that we told you about this book. It's not supposed to come out until next year.
Well, goodbye.
Bye.